families experiencing homelessness, we know there are high rates of trauma, and there's also high rates of substance use. Kids who are experiencing homelessness, they're at risk for poor health, mental health problems, substance use disorders. The list goes on and on. We're adapting a program called Focus. Our goal is really to decrease family stress, improve coping. We teach emotion regulation, problem solving, communication, setting goals as a family, and managing reminders. We know that supportive and responsive parenting is the strongest protective factor for kids. There's a range of different housing situations. So we did 56 interviews. We interviewed parents, kids, providers. We found that trauma is pervasive. We also found families really worried about the environment they were in. There's so many obstacles and barriers. Parents need more support. And this parent, she was also saying, people need to take into account our experiences and in a non-judging manner and be receptive to what we need. And I think that's really the basis of trauma-informed care, really being flexible with families and really offering choice and offering support.
One of the things that we do is we do this programming and these trainings for professionals, but we don't just do it for clinicians, we do it for everybody. And the good thing about it is it's free. We've trained on resilience-informed care. That's kind of our baseline, the foundations. What is it? What does it mean? How do you translate it?
What we try to do is really exhibit compassion for where people are meeting us and really invest early in that relationship so that when we do have to start doing all the regulatory housekeeping, there's at least a basis of trust and communication that we can build on.
I understand what it's like to have this patterned mind where you're constantly feeling like everything is just horrible and it's not going to work and no one is really here to support you. Holding space for these voices matter so much for me.
For folks experiencing homelessness, that we're really the last line of defense. It's different for each practitioner, for each different work environment. And so it's really about figuring out what that looks like within your organization. How do you make it distillable into interventions, into your interactions?
Trauma-informed humility is a daily practice. We were seeing young children who possibly had been sexually abused when they were young, and that abuse went behind closed doors. So it was a simple modification of just changing out the doors to glass doors. Planning for that and really making those long-term strategy environmental changes can really help.
Even if you're presenting what has to happen, have you solicited feedback about implementation? Do you continue to maintain that sense of trust and integrity with the folks you interact with so that they know you have their best interest? Giving people an opportunity to express their frustrations, validating those frustrations, whatever it is that gives people a sense of comfort so that they can, absorb things.
If we're always operating in this crisis orientation, we're being really reactive when we may not necessarily have to be reactive. So out of the 600 individuals and families that come to Rainbow each year, and that's the adults, only about 75 go through our shelter system. So we have all these other families we're serving that may not be in as dangerous of a situation, so we may have a little more time.
Bringing the voices with the funders so that those relationships can be established and there'll be new ways of implementing systems.
Giving people, constituents, the power to say, not in my neighborhood is a problem. It keeps people in places that are not always safe, don't always have the best education. So I think choice and creativity really just pop out for me.
We don't have it completely figured out and that we are learning. And I think that humility is going to help us grow and evolve.